After 4 years, the Dbl League is somehow still alive and well. A league that used to have 8 people now has expanded to 12. A bunch of dumb rules. People have quit, been kicked out. Pretty much anything you can imagine in a TV drama we've had in the 4 years of the Dbl League. Now heading into year 5, another man is down and has left the league. So instead of typing out what all has happened in the 4 years here, I figured it was about time to make another recap video. So let's start at year 1. Going into year 1, nobody really knew what to expect except for Warren, considering he was the only one that's ever done Dynasty, especially in reality sports where you have contracts. So going into the auction draft, the 8 of us were pretty screwed, and if you go back and look at the contracts we gave, it was pretty horrible. Just for reference, Vance gave Josh Jacobs $170 million, $45 a year. Paul gave Austin Eckler 1 year for $45 mil. Clark gave Kamara 4 years, $195 mil for almost $50 mil a year. Brennan gave Saquon Barkley $60 million a year for 4 years. And Warren, even though he knew what he was doing, still had some bad contracts with like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 4 years, $150 mil, like $36 mil a year. And almost just as bad as that, we didn't play into the dynasty role whatsoever. Like Joe Burrow got a contract for 1 year, $500K, same with Tua. So just looking at this, it's pretty safe to say the first 2 years shouldn't even count. The first year may have been actually the most fun year. So much stuff happened, very little drama outside of Brennan throwing multiple fits and having a lot of like mental breakdowns. Very little drama. A lot of funny trades, like Brennan traded every draft pick he had, like 7 draft picks for Mike Gesicki. Nick Miller tanked the whole year just to realize he never even had his draft pick. He traded away pretty much immediately. Paul also tanked and then screwed it up by setting a lineup for once and actually beating Brennan to make sure Brennan didn't get into the playoffs, to which Brennan actually tried to quit, and then that set up one of the best rivalries in Dbl League history, which led to the Wax Bowl, which we'll get to later. But yeah, Alex Clark pretty much dominated the regular season, even though him and Matt had the same record. The record of 2,212 points is still the Dbl League record. And then the 4 people that got into the playoffs were Clark, Matt, Warren, and myself. So in the first playoffs in Dbl League history, both games were actually an upset. I beat Alex Clark's dumbass like a drum. He played like T.Y. Hilton over David Montgomery, which now knowing how much he sucks David Montgomery's dick and hates on the Colts, it's actually pretty funny that that's how he lost his championship. Ohio State sucks. And Warren beat Matt, which is going to continue to be a trend of Matt never being able to win a playoff game, which set the stage for a championship game between me and Warren. We would travel to Tennessee to see Vance and watch the championship there. The first ever Dbl League championship ended up probably to this day being the most dramatic one ever. Me and Warren went all the way to Tennessee. The AT&T building in Nashville got bombed, which took out all the internet and everything. We couldn't watch any of the games. We had to go to B-Dubs to even be able to see some of them. We couldn't see the scores on our phone at all. It was pretty much impossible to know who was winning. But a lot of crazy plays went into that. I played David Johnson for some reason, and he put up like 35 points. Warren was actually cheering against the Colts and the B-Dubs, making Vance very mad, cheering against the Colts for his fantasy team. I had a huge lead on Warren going into the night game, and then he had Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. He threw 3 touchdowns to Davante Adams in the first half to take a big lead on me. I had a tough decision the whole time between playing Justin Herbert against the Broncos and Josh Allen against the Patriots. I played Justin Herbert. He played like ass. Josh Allen scored like 5 touchdowns. And if I would have made the right play, I would have been the first champion. But Warren wins his own league and is a complete asshole about it for a year. And I got bad news. It happens again. Also during that time, Brennan and Paul played in the Wax Bowl. 2-week thing. Paul was whooping Brennan's ass. Brennan threw a huge fit, tried to quit the league, had a big comeback, won the Wax Bowl, and then got to wax Paul at the banquet. So after the first year, we decided to expand the league from 8 teams to 10, adding Toby Brown and Tyler Wolf, both players who are still in the league today and making somewhat of an impact. Year 2 was actually pretty uneventful compared to year 1. Vance went from not being a playoff team to absolutely dominating the league, going 11-3. And then Matt, myself, and Warren all once again made the playoffs. But Vance was a heavy favorite. He had Cooper Kupp, who had a record-breaking year, Jonathan Taylor, who was by far the best running back in the NFL that season. So it didn't look good for us. And then obviously Miller and Paul, who obviously there was named Brennan's little bitch because he lost a name game to Brennan. We're at the bottom of the leaderboard again, but really nothing new here. So the playoffs for year 2 were underway, and pretty much exactly what was supposed to happen happened, at least on the top side of the bracket. Vance put up almost 170 points on me, beat my team that I'm not really even sure how I made the playoffs, to be honest. And then Matt and Warren, the rematch from the semis last year, had an absolute shootout of 100.4 to 100 points. I'm pretty sure Warren got like a catch on the last play of one of the games to win the lowest scoring semifinals in Dunderball history, beating Matt by 0.4 to make his second straight championship. And what do you know? Warren somehow wins again, pulling off the upset. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers do it again. Warren beats Vance 167 to 148, giving himself his second championship and getting an even bigger head. So going into year 3, something had to change. Somebody had to make sure that Warren didn't win again, and that's what I did. I made trades nonstop all offseason with everybody I could, mostly Alex Clark and Nick Miller because they're the easiest to fleece. I built pretty much a super team, went 13-1, scored over 2,000 points, and I won the championship by like 100 points. I dominated the whole season, pretty much just to make sure that Warren never won again. But all the best parts of this season didn't come from actual fantasy football. It really came... There was just so much drama. Vance quit the league like 4 weeks in. I don't even remember why he quit the league. He just randomly quit the league. My dad took over, pretty much ruined that team. Warren, before the season, was saying how bad he wants someone else to win, all this shit. And then when he didn't win, he had a huge, crazy mental breakdown. It was wild. Toby said that he could run the league better than Warren could. So then Warren kicked Toby out of the league. Warren shut the league down for a day. But then Toby downloaded everything, so we had all the info anyway. Warren brought the league back. And then we ended up adding 2 more teams. Vance came back. Toby came back. My dad was still there. And then we added Nick Carter. All of that happened pretty much directly after the season. But during the season, it was pretty much just me giving this entire league an ass whooping. Clark decided to randomly tank, and actually it ended up working for him. And I beat Brennan in the championship. He finally made the playoffs and made the finals, and I whooped his ass. But yeah, a lot of drama that season, pretty much after the season of people getting kicked out, quitting, getting added. A bunch of bullshit, but we made it to year 4. So we get to year 4, we expanded to 12 teams, and year 4 ends up being another weird year. Pretty much everyone's just complaining again about how good my team was and how nobody could beat it, which didn't end up being true. Half the league tanked. Vance came in with nobody on his roster, went 0-14 on purpose, basically didn't set lineups. Tyler was in like 2nd place and had a winning record, and then decided to randomly tank, and then traded away that draft pick anyway, so it was pretty much for nothing. Toby also had a team that was contending. I think he was in the playoffs at the point that he started tanking. Got Justin Jefferson in a trade. If he tried, he would have made the playoffs, and with how the playoffs went, probably could have won the league, but he tanked instead. Then Miller tried his absolute best and went 7-7, didn't get last. Playoffs were 6 teams this year for the first time. Matt did not win again. He still has not won a playoff game somehow. Same with Paul. He lost again. So then, the semis were me, Brennan, Carter, and Clark. Where me and Brennan made it to the finals once again, and Brennan was the champion.
Finally won Dynasty, you fucking pussies!
This was also the season that we redid all the contracts basically and let people cut their bad contracts and get out of them, like cut them in half and get out of everything free. So in the words of Alex Clark, this was a Mickey Mouse championship and basically doesn't count either. So going into year 5, somehow we made it 5 years into this league. I have no idea. We're actually down a member. We only have 11 people right now looking to fill Nick Carter's spot, who quit after 1 season. So whoever's watching this, hopefully you joined the league and now you know everything about the league. We've had 3 champions, me, Warren 2 times, and Brennan. And actually only 4 people have ever even made the finals, us 3, and Vance made it the year he went 11-3. A lot of the people's records are pretty even. I have the best record, the best season, the most points scored. Pretty much every record you could have, I have, except for possibly the most important, which is championships, which Warren holds. And then Nick Miller's clearly the worst player in Dunderball League history, but Tyler's working really hard to gain that goal. So whoever joins this league, you really don't have a lot of competition outside of like 3 people. So good luck to you. And then one of the cool parts about the Dynasty League that I just wanted to include, couldn't really fit it in the video, is the rookie draft that we do every year. These are all the picks that have happened in the 4 years of the rookie draft. Obviously some good picks and some questionable picks, like Toby picking Rondell Moore 5th overall one year because he likes Purdue, or Alex picking Dameon Pierce 3rd overall and thinking he's a genius, or Tyler picking Treylon Burks over Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. A lot of crazy picks that you can look at and pretty much correlate why some of the people finish how they do every year. But yeah, 4 years in, excited for year 5, and can't wait to continue this incredible, great league.
Dear Daddy Brennan, Jesus Christ, I would like to sincerely apologize for yet again running my mouth like a little bitch just to come up short against you. Time and time again, I try to test you, Daddy Brennan, and time again, I make a fool of myself in front of the whole league. Oh, what a silly, Billy little boy I am. I finally learned my lesson. I mean it this time. I will not question your greatness ever again. I truly am your little bitch, and I will act accordingly from now on. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Please forgive me. Please. 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 I can't believe I'm such a big Patriots fan, but it's true. I'm sorry. Also, I'm gay.